Hey everyone, how are you doing? Let me just. I think my head's just gonna be in a halo this entire time. What can you do? Um, Let me open up chat. How are you all doing? What work are you doing today? I have not yet wrote any aims for today's session. Sorry about that. So my plan, I think, for today, unless any of you have questions, please come ask questions. I will help. Um, I think I'm gonna continue with only dogs left. Claude is being a little bit picky for people today, I've heard. So I don't know how much AI generation I'll do, but I will try. Um, but if not, I'll try and like really hone the first chapter to get my style sorted, I think is the idea. Like to make sure that it sounds like me and kind of play around with that. Oh, but hello, Karen Lynn, Chad, Bonnie, Douglas. Um, It's nice to have you all here, keeping me company. Oh, you're building a timeline across 3 books. Oh, okay. So does it take place over like a long period of time, or yeah, like how long a period does it take place, or is it more kind of there's so much happening in such a short amount of time that you have to like track everything like religiously? Okay. So yeah, we have. I can't even remember half of what's going on. Oh, okay, I think they were some random tests that I was doing, so I can get rid of them. Track it religiously, yeah. I think often it does happen where you just kind of like, yeah. So are you using Novelcrafter to build a timeline, or are you using what are you using to do it? How are you building your timeline? Okay, so I um okay, so I think I got like um okay, so I've got okay, so I had oh my god, I mean I think that sums up everything that in that Claude. Okay, so I have some stuff that I can kit bash. I can play around with it and have a go. Oh, okay, through the codex. Yeah, so are using like progression slash additions to like track it all and kind of have it then in the matrix view. Oh, hello, Christina. It's lovely to have you. I know this is like really early for like a lot of time zones. I think it'll be a bit better in March because for 2 weeks the time zones kind of oh, sorry, kind of like disjoint, so they're like an hour closer together because Americans daylight savings and begin and 2 weeks before ours. So 8 a.m. in California. Wow. Well, you are dedicated. Hopefully this will wake you up and help you get writing for day. Still working on my codex for Velvet and Roses right now, loading new AI models. Oh, nice. What is the latest one you're trying? Like, I feel like I'm sometimes really boring. I stick to the same models all the time, and like, I mean, I'm not complaining. That's great. I love like the models I use. I love, but I feel like sometimes maybe I'm missing out by not experimenting more. But on the other hand, I like what I like. I'm simple that way. Okay, so I think what I might do is read through this. Let me zoom in a little bit. Read through this, see how it's sounding, and then I guess continue on with the kit bashing. I'm going to add into the codex. Does the I think that already brings in everything, so I'm all right with that. Yeah. But if you have any questions, anyone at all, like about Novelcrafter, writing, anything, like I'm here chilling and writing like as a thing when there's no questions. So ask away. I am always happy. Like I'm more than happy. It's you know, happy to do some experiments, whatever. So yeah. Come on, you piece of the spanner court metal grinding against metal. The spanner court metal grinding against metal. Almost there. Just a quarter turn more and darkness. Sudden all consuming. Is that something she'd say in her voice? I'll have to see. I have to think about that. I'm actually hoping I can get DeepSeek R1 to actually work in Novelcrafter. I've used it off-site, but it's slowed down till snail crawl. And everything in Novelcraft is so logic. Yeah, it's yeah, I guess like the API is probably a little bit like iffy while everyone's using it. So are you wanting to see me chatting with my scene? Is that kind of you want to see how that works, Douglas? Are you wanting to see like the kind of things you can ask? What kind of thing would you like me to chat with my scene about? Spark arced. And didn't have the courtesy to spit you back. You were saying you wanted to come back up to speed. Oh yeah. No, I could definitely talk. I mean, like to be fair, I've only got 400 words in this. But yeah, I could definitely talk to Claude or whatever. Um, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this is me getting caught up because I'd started rewriting the scene, but I'd not actually got that far from what I can see. I think the issue last 3 weeks ago, whenever we were last doing this, was that Claude started not playing ball, and so I'm going to change that to groove. Um, okay, darkness, the kind that swallowed you whole and didn't have the courtesy to spit you back out. A sharp buzz pierced the air. A spark from an exposed wire came at her, colliding with a palm. I'm just going to change that to... Ow. Spinning free. And then, because I've already got something there earlier, slamming into her cheekbone. Yeah, I found that Gemini thinking, like 1.5 thinking, is all right at prose when you give it like a lot of like pre-tech, like give it like your previous writing to you to mimic the style of. It actually did all right. But yeah, I feel like a lot of models aren't built, they're not built for prose writing. And like, it would be like giving a scientist um your stuff and being like, write this. It's like, well, they could, but they're not necessarily like, and it might be very in depth on certain things, but it's not necessarily going to be the kind of flow that you want. Um, so yeah, it doesn't surprise me that O3 kind of sucks, which is a shame. Like we all want new models. I think it'll get better, but yeah. Apparently GPT 4.0 has recently. Sorry, I'm just moving my light. 4.0 has recently got better. I heard. Or not better, but the moderation has kind of improved in terms of like being more lax. So I'm not. It's a bit different with the API calls, but on chat it's better. So that's kind of cool. Gonna get rid of that. Her fist to her chest. Yeah, I think it's like one of those commercial decisions. Like they want to be good in like with AI, but also they want money, and so they kind of need to. Um, so hopefully it's one of those like restriction lifting things that doesn't kind of come to bite them in the butt because otherwise then everything will just go back really tight. Hopefully people don't abuse it. Um, I really hope people don't abuse it when we get. Although Sonnet Beta with like the self moderated version, that has been really nice. That has been very kind to us, I think. So hopefully it's like kind of a comparable kind of thing. Um, Cranking it sharply. Yes, humans are not good with don't treat toys well, which kind of sucks. Hi Ivan, how are you doing? Um, ugh, the bean sputtered and cast. I might get rid of that. She fumbled with the torch's winding handle, cranking it sharply. The beam spluttered, then cast sweet light across. And I'll put bathroom there. Lighting up empty bottles and spare parts on grimy tiles. A blackout now? Really? After hours of wrestling with rusted pipes and seized threads, when victory was practically within reach, it was almost comical. A cosmic joke played at her expense if she believed in that nonsense. Two more connections and the heater would have worked. Now, she'll be lucky if the surge hadn't fried the whole system. Okay, well, let's change that to turning if I've got cranking it later. She cranked the torch a few more times for good measure, the plastic groaning under her grip. The beam steadied a little, enough to navigate. Delilah rolled out from under the tank. Um, mm, would she? And pain in her blooming cheek. Something caught somewhere below. The clang of the backup generator vibrated up the walls. Something caught her toe. She stumbled. Okay, there's um, practically across the room before she recovered. Who left? The beam revealed one of Kira's boots. Of course. Voices filtered through paper-thin walls. Mrs. Ortega's laugh. The Smith brothers arguing about timing. Clang, clang, clang. Louder now, echoing in the sudden quiet of the apartment block. The old diesel engine coughing to life was everyone's signal that the blackout dance was about to begin. Despite herself and the pain in her blooming cheek, Delilah smiled. The Alvas most likely. Guaranteed they would have raided the maintenance room, bypassed the lockout security. She wondered what scrap they'd managed to use for the generator this time. Has the singing started? No. The singing began. She needed something to contribute. What did they have? Kira would have hidden all the good booze, but Delilah had her own stashes. She checked behind the loose, yep, wall panel under the mattress above the kitchen cabinets. Nothing. Damn it, she muttered, kicking a loose piece of plasterboard. Wait, behind the hot press. Bingo. To be fair, I don't know what a hot press is. I'm sure I probably said that last time. What is a hot press? Oh, it's an airing cupboard. Oh, it's using Irishism. I think. Yeah, stack of towels. Okay, that makes far more sense now. Okay. So, yeah, so a hot press was like Irish for an airing cupboard or like a room in a house where you have like your boiler. And so you also put your towels in to dry and keep warm and stuff. Delilah reached behind a stack of towels, pulling out a half full bottle of something dark and syrupy. No label and warm. Probably half homebrewed by the Dukovits. Dukovits? Could be lethal, could be delicious. Either way, it would burn. Perfect. The singing. From the spark. Um, I mean, definitely at the moment while you've got 50,000 feet of snow. Um, I don't know if it's drying or just keeping them warm there, but yeah, it's just always that's the place where you put your towels and your bed sheets and stuff like, and then it means when you pull them out of the airing cupboard, they're like really nice and warm. Um, I don't know, maybe that's just like a British thing, British and Irish thing. Like, um, yeah, I mean my our boiler's just there, so um, we don't have any shelves, so we don't put our towels there, but I guess we could do. At the moment, it's just got all my art, some of my art supplies. You know, this all is the rest. Okay, right. So I think I wasn't enjoying these from what I remember. I'm not sure. I can't remember, but let's just drag them down. Okay, it is a UK thing. That's crazy. Okay, so I mean, I guess if this is like American descendants, this might not be a thing. I'm gonna leave it in for now because it's it's me. But yeah, okay. Um. Oh, that's crazy. Where do you guys like? I guess do you just put them in a random cupboard then? I suppose it just depends on where you store things. Like in a lot of British houses, I guess they just put them in boilers in cupboards because that they didn't have dedicated space for them, like when they didn't exist. I don't know how recent are boilers a thing. How recently were boilers stored in houses? Oh, okay, so yeah, the 70s and 80s. So yeah, I guess most houses built then they need to build a cupboard to put them in. Okay, yeah, linen closet. Okay, let's see if Claude is playing ball. Um, snippets, sample chapter. I'm gonna try your new one, Corey, or like the not the new one, but the version that we've just been playing with. Um, which it was so funny. I was trying to like get some prose written in my style, and it was so different. It was like, I don't understand. Do you want me to continue with the story or write this new thing? I'm confused. Okay, so they actually used to have them in all houses of the well-to-do here in the United States, and then they stopped building them. You would mostly find them in the dining room. Okay. They used to keep plates warm when they were having formal dinners and such. That's really useful though. Like yeah, yeah. Get your hot plates. Although I guess you'd have to yeah you take them out and then I guess serve yeah. Huh. So I will section this, and then I will apply, and I'll go through and read it. Um, I mean, to be honest, don't. So, like, when I'm editing, immediately it groaned under a feet. Yeah, of course it's going to be under a feet. When my kids were young, I'd throw their towels in the dryer so that they were warm when they came out. The airing cupboard sounds like a great. Yeah, exactly. It's like when you have, you put your clothes. I don't know if any of you do this, like, in the winter, but I always put my clothes, like, on the radiator the night before. So it means when I wake up and I'm like miserable and having to get out of bed, my clothes are immediately, or like, when you're out of the shower, the clothes are immediately warm. And so it's like a nice little hug. The stairwell groaned as Delilah swung down, one hand on the railing, the other clutching the dubious. I mean, I feel like all of that is kind of obsolete. Like a lot of the time, I find AI kind of writes things that you don't necessarily need. Uh, Skip the fourth, dodge. Oh, I like this. Dodge left on the seventh. The ninth's only good on the right side. Okay. Gemini thinks the airing cupboard originated in the UK as a dedicated space to dry laundry, most likely becoming widespread during the Victorian era because of central heating systems. Oh, okay. Huh. The AGA discussion? Oh, the AGA discussion, I think. Okay, well, I feel like I've now got to skip the AGA, wait for the AGA until Doug returns. Um, I'll just get rid of that. Don't want to fall into this. Let's quote it. I'm going to turn off my notifications for a moment. Snooze, clear. Okay, amazing. That's crazy though. Okay, so I'm kind of now like, well, I find, to be fair, weird. I suppose some houses do have basements, but the sheer amount of basements Americans have baffles me. Like, I wish we had a basement, like just a random room under the house for stuff. Like we have like loft space, but it's not the same. It's not like a usable space often. Skip the fourth. Dodge left on the seventh. Get rid of almost. Um, Oubliettes. What are oubliettes? Or oubliette. Oh, a dungeon, a basement room, which is only accessible from a hatch or a hole in a high ceiling. I mean, that's just saying it's a dungeon as well when you translate it. But yeah, I'm in a new build, not a posh British home. Although now I do want a dungeon. I feel like that would be a great life choice. Just having a casual like basement, like not a dungeon, like for like just having a basement, like a stone basement that like gives dungeon vibes. That'd be a great gaming room. Like imagine hosting Dungeons and Dragons, but in like an oubliette, whatever that word is. Um, okay, I mean that feels like really stereotype, I'm going to highlight that for changing. Ah! I mean, don't know what I pressed, but yeah. And then I'm going to use the rephrase prompt and sonnet. Uh, eh. I don't know what I want. I'll just highlight it and come back to it later. Later, Katie can deal with it. The cask of Amontillado? What's that? I feel now I'm like Googling everything, but. Um. Uh. Strong, like. It feels very Russian, but yeah. Kate needs to read more Poe. I absolutely do. I'm a heathen that doesn't read much, but yeah. Um. That'll do, I think. Um. Just have story time where you guys tell me random stories. Um. Little history lesson is French for a place of forgetting. It was a dungeon that was used specifically to put prisoners in, and they were forgotten about. Oh wow, that is bleak. It's just like I don't want to think about them. They can. Oh, have skeletons for company. Um, no, I don't know the story of Paul Bunyan. You need to tell me. You need to give me a history lesson on this. Oh yeah, not for eternity. I mean, like sometimes a campaign can feel like eternity, but let's not go for quite that long. I'm now just imagining live streaming a D&D session and just like people comment random things and like we use the AI to be a DM. Renan Alves. Okay, forgot to read out loud. Um, do you find your Claude Sonnet overuses the dashes? Um, Sometimes. I also don't know if it's me because I overuse dashes as well. So I love sentences that don't finish in dialogue. Um, so I never know if it's me or Claude. Um, okay, Paul Bunyan was a fictional lumberjack who was giant and had a blue ox named Babe. I always imagine that's where the phrase "strong like ox" came from. Okay, I mean that feels like very much like a Norse myth or something. That's cool. Was interesting. Mrs. Ortega didn't seem to mind, swaying with her eyes closed. Um, a smile on her tired face. Little Louisa sat cross-legged nearby, sketching the scene in charcoal on the floor. The Dukovic's homebrew was making the rounds. Delilah accepted a cup from Arena, sniffing cautiously. This isn't the batch that made Victor see ghost cats, is it? Arena winked. Only one way to find out. It burned going down, but left warmth in its wake, the kind that made the edges softer, the troubles lighter. More instruments appeared. Um, a guitar missing two strings, something that might have been a flute. But definitely wasn't anymore. Renan Alves coaxed impossible melodies from an old pipe, fingers dancing over the holes burnt through the metal? Yeah. Dance, somebody called. Probably Maita. She was always trying to get people moving. Not a chance, Delilah laughed, but Irina was already pulling her into the growing cloud. Oh, that's cute. Tonight we celebrate. Celebrate what? Being alive, being together, being drunk. That too. As the... Okay. This isn't that bad actually. Claude is doing me well today. Learning the warp see thin. Tomorrow there'd be work. Tomorrow there'd be rules and rations and careful words. Tomorrow she go back to pizza. And she wouldn't check. And she wouldn't check the emergency comms. Delilah sang along. Sonnet does love to give just random extra words. It's like, maybe this is what we're doing when we're forcing you to write more. It's like, fine, I'll just like, it's like a fifth grade student like trying to just add in all the big words to like increase the word count. Um, and I mean, I'm just gonna boop. Get rid of that ending. Dissolve section. Hide. What is next in this chapter? Yeah. No, I think it was trying to suggest that, but it just didn't. It kind of felt so wordy that it just didn't. It didn't feel right. Um, or it didn't. It just felt a bit odd to me. Okay, let's see how this goes. I mean that does feel right. Um, I indeed have. I mean, I have the bureaucratic process for repairs. I feel like the Department of Redundancy department would absolutely write that kind of thing. I'll just apply it and then see how it goes. Um, Lie spun writing the lingering notes until she collided into something solid. Someone solid. Oof, watch it, Harris. Anna. Dies unwind. When did you sneak in? Just now. Mum insisted on bringing unadjusted towards the makeshift snack table while a small crowd had already gathered. Well, you know. According to various AI and my beta readers, that's the department I work in. Oh wow, that's brutal. I mean, I think that that is something that we've all heard at some point. Um, but yeah. Um, mm. Okay. Getting distracted by text messages. I mean, not text messages, Instagram messages, but I mean, we all think they're all the same thing now. Okay. With small credit. I do like that it's giving like its own kind of like swear words, not swear words, but like like colloquialisms, colloquialisms. Okay. Um. Okay, that's clunky. I need to rephrase that. I'll go back and look at it. Exclamations. Yes, so many exclamations. That's all you're optimistic. Overheard some traders earlier. Apparently, even the Archon's just spires running dark. Complete chaos up there. Um, I'll put on the way. But yeah. Does anyone have any questions? I realize it's been like 40 minutes, and like, if you have questions, let me know. I'm like, if not, totally can just listen on and chill. What do I want to listen to while I write? Yeah, Finding Netherland. Okay. The violence. Okay, Kira's not a mechanic. Okay, so gonna have to. Um, 3 doubles already this week. Smith Brothers have finally synchronized. Oh my god. Finally synchronized their playing, launching into something fast and slightly manic. Charles's accordion wheezed desperately to keep up with William's tempo. No, they're not brothers. Oh. God, Claude, they're gay. Nova's Mercy, what are they trying to play? I think it used to be a dancing song. Maybe, if you squint with your ears. That's not... Okay, Kira's not there. So I've got to get rid of that. Boop. I don't, but that's mainly because I do the continuity checks. Like, I suppose you could have another prompt, like a text replacement, go over it, but it would take. I feel like through just doing the initial reading pass, I can usually I know that Kira works in the food district, so I was like, um, oh, okay, so that was just adding extra stuff, so that's fine. There was a feeling, something I always knew. I suppose you could make you could have like a prompt with your entire codex and like chat with the scene and get it to let me have a look. Okay, I'm just gonna apply that, but then um yeah, well, like a reader wouldn't necessarily catch in the first chapter, but then they'd be like, wait, why? They would then be like, what's going wrong? To a man who'd never boast. Uh, okay, that's better. And that perfect life. Even though I haven't had a new idea for years. Said it was important to maintain connections, whatever that meant. It was just the drink making her paranoid. Anyone is here. Okay, I'm gonna just get rid of these. I'll be able to recover them by going into scene history at some point, so that's fine. Okay, so I have my rough chapter. So then, say I've got this, and I want to be like, okay, yeah. So Novelcrafter, it's more the LLMs that you need to check, but like a lot of LLMs work really well in languages that aren't English, and so as long as you've got one that matches, the Novelcrafter prompting will input that. So you can go to like your novel cog, writing language, and that'll change like the language in the prompt, like the when you have like your general purpose prompt and it has novel tense and novel language, you would want to like something I would advise is like write all your codex entries in the target language and like rewrite the prompt, like copy it and rewrite it in your target language, because the more of the language you want you give it, the more that'll help. I don't speak a second language well enough to be able to evaluate prose. So I wouldn't know how they are. So you'd have to see if anyone else does anyone else write in other languages. Um hey, I mean the developers are working on export. Like they're working on everything all the time. Yeah, it is a little bit awkward. But like there is the formatting that happens inside here, like when you go on like format, this is all just like a visual thing. Like it's just visual for Novelcrafter. It's just kind of like the raw format when exported. Okay, yeah. So Phil says that he uses, so they use NC in French. I think there was some. Let me have a look. There was mention if I go on later. I mean, I don't know what language you're wanting to work in, but there's some Hugging Faces language. Um, Saba is apparently good for Middle East and South Asian languages. And there's another Hugging Face for French, like a leaderboard for that. So there are some things out there. But yeah, no, it's yeah. So if you look out, like it's I think we have a bit about it, a bit about it on the documentation, but I know that's not always the easiest to find. Do you ever have those moments like as you go through life and you realize that you're getting older? Because like I've started recently really enjoying just hot water, and I'm just kind of like, oh my god, like, is that just a sign of? I don't know. Well, it's probably a sign of taste changing, but yeah. Okay, what languages do you know that Star Cannon's good at? We should probably write that down to let people know. Oh, it's a local machine. Okay. I mean, I'm sure someone has, like, one of the providers has it, but Star Cannon, good to know. Oh, I was going to chat with the scene. That's what I was going to do. Actions, chat with scene, new chat. Let's pin it. So it's already got the scene context, select AI, General purpose. So I have a general purpose prompt where I've just got the full codex. I'm just gonna go for if it bloody works. My God. I have GPT-4o Mini. Um, Getting older is when you use the seat warmer in the car to help your back. Oh my God. I mean, to be honest, getting older is when you have the money to buy a car with a seat warmer, because we are in like super basic car, like the like lowest tier car of the make. I wish we could have like whenever we travel in our in-laws car, like my husband's parents, and they have seat warmers, it's like, oh my God, this is the most luxurious thing ever. Like, what is going on? And like how you can control each seat separately and like different temperatures, and whether it's just the back or the back and the bum. What is going on? Like, the innovations of humankind are incredible sometimes. Like, the things we do for the slightest increase in comfort. Okay, right, what am I going to ask? Please read and analyze this chapter, comparing it against the codex. Point out any continuity errors slash Oh, so local LLMs are ones that you can download. So if you go on like LM Studio and stuff, they have some there. But yeah, if you can Google it. But I would say yeah, if you can get it on OpenRouter, go that way, I guess. Douglas says my mother's car has seat warmer and a seat cooler. See, I did not know that was a thing either. That is crazy. I guess in hot countries, it's more like, the UK don't get hot. But like, I mean, to be honest, even having air conditioning would be great. We have like little vents that like recycle air, but it's not air conditioning. Luckily, my husband's not listening to this. I'm not pooping on our car. Our car is great. It's small, it's cute, it gets places. But yeah, oh good. I'm glad that was helpful. I'm glad that people here were able to help you, Ivan. Point out any continuity errors slash conflicts with the codex. So this is very air conditioning the vent that pipe directly under seats. That is insane. That's crazy. But yeah, okay. So this is like super. They shouldn't need to be fine tuned. Normally, like if an LLM works, they've already been fine tuned to do that. But yeah, this is me half distracted writing a prompt, so it might not work great, but it's just like, that's mostly how you do prompting with AI. Like, you just kind of chat with it. When reality presses in wave after wave, it farther beneath. Okay, blackout. Emergency comms. Okay, interesting. It said, maybe she should check in. It's like, yeah, I guess, like, the thing is, she should check them. But, okay, so here it's not realized the blackout only started after the repair. So that's fine. I can kind of like live with that. I drive a Kia and all standard here in Canada. Okay, a question. I used to strike through, but it did not export the strike through. I think that's normal. I'm not sure. Let me check. I know some formatting doesn't work if you use Word. So if you export as a Word document, like bullet points don't transfer through currently. And that's to do with how Word indicates a bullet point. There's like it's a weird thing that's different to like Markdown and HTML. So it might be the same with that. I would say download as a Markdown or a HTML, and maybe see if that works. I'm behind on this chart, but notice earlier the models are showing underneath the seam beat. What, as in like here? I mean, it depends on how far scrolled up you are as to whether they show below or above. Boop, boop, boop. So again, I think the straight curly quotation mark will be a matter. Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a formatting thing. And so, I mean, I usually, when I'm like in Word or whatever, I just like Control F and do the find and replace of them all. Or like when editing. I think you can't have them in here just because it's like when you export, it wouldn't transfer. But Corey, correct me if I'm wrong. Um, Oh, okay, yeah. Also, if you've not got the hobbyist plan or higher, like if you've only got the scribe plan, you wouldn't see them. Or if you've not connected to an AI model. Yeah. We are looking to do more formatting like options and so that you can actually format after. Um it's just on a very big timeline of things that people want us to add. I think that's the issue. A lot of the time, it's like there are so many features that would be really useful, but when we have like 100 of them that people want us to do, um, then it's hard to know which ones to do first. And then like there's often like loads of actual reasons why things are harder, and yeah. Okay, so yeah, repair work was fine. I mean like the thing it pointed out was a non-issue. Okay, so the communication thing is maybe the only thing that I would want to look at, but everything else seemed fine. Oh, yeah. And can you not export 1 minute? That's you can export HTML. So you can always use that. Because yeah, you can see here most use format works with Word, yada yada yada. Simple text formatting the format that keeps formatting, and like uh, not all features supported in docs. Um, and that's because Word likes to be pernickety with how it formats everything and be unique compared to like any other system, I think. Yeah, I think he was saying that. Maybe it's like when opening it in Word. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to like look at it. Oh, okay. Did not know that. Oh, okay, Andy. Oh, those sections titled with the model used. Oh, okay, that makes more sense now. um, wait tonight on a sea of pure moonlight. Okay, so I've got my first chapter. it definitely needs work. So let's go to our good old friend Drunk Lord. Pin, collapse sidebar to give more screen space. Select AI, and analysis, Drunk Lord. Robert says, I just came on. We'll watch it after you're done streaming from your secret corner somewhere in Hogwarts. Yes, this. Also, England people use one quote. Do England people use one quote? I use two quotes. Well, like, I use, like. Oh, for quotes. Oh, I don't know. What do I use for quotes? Uh. Um. Yes. Okay. Single quotations for quotes, whereas American English use double. Um. Because there's okay, and unlike American English, British punctuation usually goes outside the quotation marks unless it's part of the quoted text. Um, See, we don't use single quotes for dialogue anymore. I don't think. You cannot deny she's on every single page. Who knows? I'd have to look into it more. I'm just there, like staring at. Huh? Maybe that's like a thing. Okay. Um, I need to Google this now. Or chat. See, I don't know if that's Oh, okay. So Andy, if you're using Claude, it never ever does British English. It is the bane of my life to get it to spell correctly. I just sort it out. In Pro Writing Aid, I just use Pro Writing Aid as well for grammar. I have never, when writing, done single quotation marks for prose, like pre AI, post AI. Absolutely never. I'm now like, I need to find some books, and the only books I have easily accessible are mine. So I need to look at this. But yeah, um, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like a like a quotation thing, or like a just like a generational thing. But yeah, even if like I have up here, it's set to British English. Absolutely never uses British English. I've just kind of grown. I'm like, well, Claude has stuff. What did I get? But yeah. Okay. Oh, mate, this is some good stuff. Oh, bless it. Claude is in a good mood today. Gemini apparently is a right uh insert choice of word when it comes to um drunk Claude, as my friend Mari would say. She really think she says that Gemini is very harsh. Um okay, yeah. No, I mean it might be that that they do, that we do. I just, when you kind of like, it's something I've never noticed before. Um or like never consciously thought about. So I'm now gonna have to go through all my old books. Um Yeah, I would use double quotation marks for dialogue, but for a quote, it's single quotation. Yeah, that's how I tend to use quote, like single or double. But we've ended up having an unintentional grammar lesson today, guys. Social, more like, what do you call it? Social sci-fi? The kind where people are just trying to get by in a crapstick world. See now, um, depends if it was an American publisher or not, I guess. Um, Now I'm thinking, what if she doesn't actually see Kira until after her arrest? And like Kira actually doesn't show up in any of these early chapters. And so it's like Kira's missing and like I'm just gonna drag it out even further. Or like maybe she sees her but from a distance and like she's just not like returned to the house for a bit and oh, I got some ideas maybe. Oh. The rest of your thoughts and like I mean, why not just like pop it into Atticus after you've done like it's at the current stage, it's it's not design it's an aspiration that we have, but it's not there's so much other stuff that we're wanting to kind of finish getting right first. But yeah, hopefully formatting. Um yeah. I am starting to use Atticus. Like I've started to I did my formatting in Word before, and I'm trying out Atticus. But I've not used it that much. I kind of like keep avoiding it. I don't know why. Like I've got it. I've paid for it. I should use it, but yeah. Um okay. My god. Bless Claude. Has anyone seen Miadu's Below the Spires or this book? My experience of publishing using Word, it worked completely fine. The book looked great. It took a lot of time. Like it took a lot of time and energy and effort. And so I decided that I would rather spend money to get rid of that. But I mean, it was fine. Like I got everything. It gave you a lot of fine control. When things went a bit wrong, you had to like go back. But yeah, Okay, interesting. Um, I mean, the fact they're saying bound, is it like a fancy ass version, Douglas? Like, is it like a proper like hand bound, like pretty? Because it sounds like one of those aesthetic book versions. But yeah, has anyone read these? Corey, you normally read everything. Um, yeah, I guess if you're only wanting to archive half part of the scene, you could cut it out. It depends on it how likely you are to use it again, because you could always delete it and then it's still in the scene history if you want to get it back. But yeah, um, you could just plonk it into um the new scene. Oh, James, as well, you could like Amazon has the formats like templates. So I took that and then I copy and pasted things over with like when you do Control Shift V and so it doesn't copy over any formatting. And so I did it that way, so everything was like pre-set up with like the gutters and stuff. Oh, I wish you could send pictures now on this. Oh my god, Claude is getting some delightful conspiracy theories. Okay, interesting. Because yeah, I don't have any descriptions on. Oh, so yeah, so scene history. You can go on so your action menu, scene contents, and you can like restore earlier versions, but you can also like if you click on them, you can just like scroll down. So if you needed something, you could always like highlight it and copy and paste it back. You can see that like every 3 minutes or so, you have like a timestamp kind of version. So you can see all the different sessions that I've been working on this. You can also restore older versions if you wanted. Um, but yeah. Okay. You make a good point regarding the description of Delilah. How can I pull this into the scene without doing one of those stupid I look in the mirror bits? Oh no, you're very welcome. I think like there's so many things. It's like clicking on all the buttons and just working out what they all do. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. And you've also got it for your scene summaries as well. So I mean, I've not got any history for my scene summary, but if you do, you can like look at past versions of those as well. And breathe my blood. Okay. Okay. And sure, I'd love to. We're experiencing it now. Um. Oh, I love that. Like her hair gets caught and she's like, damn it, the one time I forget my tie. Yeah. Okay, I'm really liking this. Well, James, I am here most weeks, so you can come next Wednesday. with a list of questions, and I'm happy to like chat you through them. Like, I am on the support bot on the other side of that a lot of the time. But it is hard, I think, to answer things like when it's a bit more fragmented. Whereas here we can just like I can show you and like it's easier to explain. So yeah, no, next week just come with all your questions. Like I'll just be like boop 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 boop. Okay. So yeah, no, I like where it's talking about the descriptions. I'll need to like reread, go through it, edit, which I'll do next week. Um, oh my god, I love those. I love Claude's conspiracy theories. This is great. Um, I it's only 9:60. Oh bless. No, it's I. Yeah, I mean, I'm like a awake at 6 a.m. person, so I'm like very much a morning person. So I appreciate you coming on um early. I maybe I should do some of these later on in the day as well. Although I would be like necking the coffee. Um but yeah, no, I'm glad that you guys are finding it helpful. Like that's why we do these office hours and like, we try our best. How do you spell hierarchy? Uh oh my god. Claude is delightful when drunk. The symbolism. Um Okie dokie. Um it's funny because now Claude is theorizing about exactly what happens next in the book. Um it's a proper family drama wrapped in a political thriller disguised as a working class sci-fi. Oh, you're very welcome, James. Have a great day. Okay. Claude is very enthusiastic today. Okay. I've not even had to give him extra beer. He's just producing it. Oh, she's their best. Oh, bless him. Okay. I feel like I need to like um reassure Claude that its ideas were good. That's bad. Okay. Vandalized investigating, she's kind of horrified. Okay, yeah, this works. This works. Okay, cascade reaction. I like that. Oh, everyone here is lovely. Thank you for coming, Douglas, and I'll see you next week. Oh my god, that's why he's like, oh, now Claude has conspiracy theories about everyone. Yes, let's brainstorm a. Okay, a list of oh Kira no moments. Okay, also rude, Claude. Conniption. I've never heard that word before. I mean, I don't know why that would happen, but sure. This is insane. Like, Mari, are you watching this? I like the idea of digital footprints. I'm now like, this is like, oh, this is like a really like new direction, but I'm excited about it. Like the idea that like she's not seen Kira, and suddenly all this stuff's happening, and she's like getting more and more panicked. And then when she does find out what happens, it's like, oh, I mean, absolutely. This bizarre jury rig solutions are actually kind of brilliant, but completely terrifying from a safety standpoint. Go on, let's let Cord have its thing. Super powered lightsabers gets up to demonstrate use beer bottle as a prop. Oh my god. Oh my. I'm okay. I don't know what you guys are thinking about these random conspiracy theories, but I'm loving this. Oh my god, it's gone back to the air. Sphere. Okay, I'm just gonna remind. Oh my god, dome! You didn't tell me about the dome. That changes everything. Draws wobbly dome shape in spilt bear. Starts connecting invisible dots in the air. Oh, interesting. What if the whole system is starting to break down, but instead of fixing it, the people in charge are just adjusting the atmospheric pressure to hide the symptoms? Oh my god. See, I feel like this is when Drunk Claude with this Drunk Claude has no context beyond what um we give it. Um did I get the context for that? You know when you can't remember preview final prompt? Okay. Because the Drunk Claude prompt doesn't actually have any of the stuff, I didn't actually tell it about the Vivarium sphere. I only told it the Vivarium sphere. So it made Okay, interesting. Unless it was in a later message, but okay, interesting. So yeah, so Vivarian Sphere was just from the name it knew. Okay, interesting. Huh. Well, on that delightful note, I am gonna head off until I'm just like completely in shadow. So I will see you all on Saturday, where we are going to be doing some style matching in the class for like trying to like mimic your style more accurately in Novelcrafter. So I look forward to seeing you then. And yeah, have a great time, guys. And where's my mouse? Bye.